Hello, what is going on, everyone? Welcome, we are live. How you guys all doing? Welcome into the stream. Hope you're having a good one so far, Dave. Cat check. Cat left. Cat was literally here 30 seconds ago, now he left. He must have known I was going to start the stream. What's going on, everyone? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? What's happening? Wait, any moment now. Wait, are we not live? Am I live on the wrong channel? Oh, okay, we're good. Okay, it took chat like a little bit longer than usual to reflect the fact that I'm live, and I got a little scared. How you guys doing? Hello! Happy Monday, Tuesday? Happy day, everyone! What? Monday, everyone! The 10th of July, and we are live on morepat for a little bit of React and Dino. What's going on, everyone? How you doing? Hope you had a good weekend. I hope that you are not so sad that it's a Monday. You know, for some people, Mondays are their days off. So, hey, maybe you're having a good time. Currently in a restaurant? Well, enjoy your meal. Hello, Georgina. Hello, Prager. Ooh. Hello, Sweet Banana. Hello, Blackout. Hello, Abby. Hello, Night Raider. Hello, Sam. Hello, Anna. Hello, Twitino. How you guys doing? Welcome into the stream. Some people do have Mondays off. Some people have Wednesdays off. I think Wednesday is the best day to have off if you're not gonna with the weekend, because then you get like 2 days, a day off, 2 days, 2 days off. So that's pretty good. You're never more than like one full day away from a day off, right? Hello, Amelia. Thank you so much for the membership. Thank you very much indeed. What's going on, guys? What we're reacting to? Some good stuff. Some good fun stuff. I will say, I did see some kind of deranged. Oh, here's the fun thing. I went on Twitter and I saw derangement. Oh, yo, what a shocker. Listen, I'm gonna start today off strong, okay? And we're gonna jump directly into the deep end, okay? So I went on Twitter and I was scrolling. What a mistake that was. As per usual, you know, nothing new there. And I fumbled upon this tweet. I fumbled upon this tweet right here that reads, hold on, okay, this we don't need that kind of music. Said it before and I'll say it again. I'm open to all the ships, just have 3 things. Make sure it's age appropriate, make sure it's not incestuous, and don't ship real people. Other than that, have fun and don't attack each other. Which, you know, doesn't that seem like a very level-headed, not offensive at all take to have? That seems like a pretty normal thing to say. I think we can all agree that that is a very normal thing for a normal person to say. So, in theory, we should all be able to gather around and be like, yeah, that is a normal thing to say, and we all agree. Let's make sure it's not, let's make sure things are age appropriate, not incestuous, and not ship real people. I think that's normal, right? That's a pretty, we can all agree on that, right? Well, I thought that everyone would be able to agree to that. I was wrong. Because there is 1,221 quote retweets on this. And I scrolled for about 30 seconds, and I came to the conclusion that humans don't deserve to be alive anymore. We need to shut down. We need to shut down the internet. We need to disconnect. We need to return to caveman. We don't need to see people's opinions on the internet anymore. I don't even want to show you it. But I had pedophilia defenders, incest defenders, people just generally mad that they weren't allowed to do this. And it took seconds after clicking that button right there. So I tweeted, the court retweets are too deranged. We need to bring shame back. It's just too, we've gone too far. Humanity is a little bit too accepting about the things that they can say. They are a little bit too open to sharing their thoughts online. We need to shut it down. We need authoritarianism. We need no free speech anymore. We need to delete it. Go away. So, dude, it's insane, chat. It's absolutely insane. I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. We need to bring back shame. We need to bring back pointing at people and laughing at them and possibly just like what was it called when someone was exiled from the society? We need to maybe bring back that for a few of the quote retweets on this. I don't know, man. It's kind of crazy. Free speech is a government thing. We ain't the government. Okay, it's time for us to become the government and then ban free speech for people quote retweeting this tweet specifically. For everything else, sure. You can say whatever. Who cares? But for people that quote retweeted this and made the deranged takes that I saw, obviously not all quote retweets because that would include me. Then you don't get free speech anymore. It goes away. No more for you. You don't get it. You clearly can't use it correctly. You've abused it. You don't get it anymore. You're not allowed. Anyway, that's why you should vote for me for president. I am British. I'm also not 35. I'm also not born in America. And I also don't want to be president. So you can't vote for me. Vote for me for Prime Minister, even though you can't do that. That's not a thing that you can do. You can't vote for me for Prime Minister. You can't even do that. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Your support means the world to me. And with your support, I will jail everybody. I will jail 1,000, probably 200 odd people. And nothing else. Then I'll resign. I'll resign after that. I can't believe this is a contentious thing. It kind of blew my mind. This is a contentious take to have. All right, well, anyway, you guys know your Pokemon videos mean everything to me. I'm glad that you like it. Thank you, that random. I appreciate that. Thank you very much indeed. Little gross. Oh yeah, super gross. It's kind of weird. It is kind of weird to me how open to being gross and disgusting people have become online now. I think we're a little bit too comfortable. That's why I said we need to bring back shame. People are too comfortable, and we need to bring back shame. I look like Postman Pat because I am Postman Pat. We need to bring back not being able to say certain things. All right. People feel protected by anonymity. Yeah, anonymity. Yeah, no, I think that. I don't think that people would make these kind of arguments in real life. Like, if you saw them at LAN, bro, if I saw you at the World of Warcraft LAN, you wouldn't be making the defensive arguments, right? People are a little too comfortable online now. A little too comfortable. The internet is in shambles. I wish Threads was good. Because, man, this website is really bad now. It's so bad. Oh, sorry, Noni. I apologize. I don't know what Threads is. It's Meta's Twitter. They made a Twitter. And to be fair, I think it has the potential to be really good, but it isn't right now. It's not good right now, but it has the potential to be really good. Dude, I saw the worst thing in the world. Dude, the banter is so bad. It's so awful. It's just like, no, it's so bad. I was scrolling. I was trying to find like anything good. And I saw this. This popped up on my feed. And I said, oh God, this is so shit. It is so dire. It's like people on Instagram that didn't use Twitter, they just discovered that you can post things online and they're like, when it's Monday. I'm like, oh man, this is so bad. No one is funny there. No, not a single person is funny there. I'm like, man, I wish someone was funny on this. Then it'll be really good. When the funny people get on, then it'll be good. But until then, man, it's struggling, right? Yeah, you'd think it'd be like a Minions meme or something like that, right? Okay, well, today, ladies and gents, we got some more lore reacts, we got some timeline, we got a little bit of Marvel has a zombies timeline. What? That's crazy. But first, we want to take a look at something very near and dear to my heart. We're going to have a look at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Timeline, baby. That's right. We're going to open up the gates of Exodia. We're going to dive in. We're gonna have a good time today. We're gonna have a good little reacts day. Marvel has an everything timeline. They really do. They do have an everything timeline. That is true. All right. Can I get like some Yu-Gi-Oh music in the background? Actually, I don't know. I usually don't open with music on my videos. On my second channel videos, anyway. All right. I think we'll start with Yu-Gi-Oh. Then we'll do Marvel Zombies. Oh, also, Shady is doing a subathon. And he has 12 hours on it already. Wow, his time was on 12 hours already. Good luck, buddy.
Oh, no, you're right. It is all hardcore.
I didn't know that he was starting this today. That's sick. That's probably going to be going for like, what, a week? Like maybe 2 weeks? I don't know how long he's, like, I don't know what the cap on this is, but he's probably going to be going for a while on that. That's pretty sick. A lot of content for Shady. We'll rate him after the stream. We'll send him a rate. In fact, I'll probably rate him after every stream that we do, as long as he is still live. All right, but you guys ready? You want to do a little bit of Blue Eyes White Dragon, a little bit of Dark Magician, a little bit of Red Eyes Black Dragon, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of all of that. You ready, guys? All right, let's dive into it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of my favorite series of all time. When I was younger, I used to get home from school. I used to toss on the Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, summon the Dark Magician, all of that. I've watched the original series, GX. I watched 5Ds, which is better than you expect, actually. I saw a lot of people dunking on 5Ds. It's really good, but I've never seen past that. I did try and get into Reigns, but I couldn't, or V-Reigns, whatever it's called. So now we're gonna completely catch up. We're gonna learn everything there is to know about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime and manga timeline. I'm gonna absorb all of the lore possible. Let's dive into it.
The Yu-Gi-Oh! Timeline is a bit of a mess. There are currently 8 anime shows and, coincidentally, 8 manga projects. The original Duel Monsters anime was adapted from the Duel Monsters manga, but none of the other series are adaptations. And the first 3 series of the anime all seem to take place in the same universe, but everything after that seems pretty self-contained. Sorta. So before I start to make heads or tails of this,
Hold on. The anime and the manga for GX are separate? They're not adaptations? So is Jaden still in it? Okay. I feel like I'm gonna learn so much. I know nothing about the manga. I know the original manga was like really weird. They had different games. There was death in it and things like that. So there's a lot of undiscovered things we're gonna find out today.
I know that some of you are already running to the comment section to say that there is no overarching, interconnected Yu-Gi-Oh! Continuity. That the show is just a series of 30-minute card commercials, and that I am wasting my time by talking about this.
That's what you sound like.
If you're doing that, I have just one thing to say to you.
Yep. What's that?
That's boring. You're boring, everybody. Quit boring everyone.
Okay, so we're gonna start with the first 5 anime shows. Yu-Gi-Oh's Duel Monsters, GX, 5Ds, Zexal, and Arc 5. And for the purposes of this theory, all of these shows take place one after the other in one mostly unbroken timeline.
Okay, I know the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Is kind of like in modern day when it came out. I know GX is, I don't know how much after, but it's not too much after. They open an academy, so it must be like, what, 10 years, 20 years after maybe. 5Ds is like way into the future. And then Zexal and Arc 5, I haven't even touched. So this is all treading new grounds.
Duel Monsters happens, then GX, then 5Ds, then Zexal, then Arc 5. In Duel Monsters, we learn that the world used to be full of dark magics, and that sorcerers in ancient Egypt used this magic to play the Shadow Games, rituals that allowed them to bind and control the spirits of monsters.
Man, those games must have sucked. They get one card. It's on this massive piece of rock, so they have to spend like 25 years chiseling their card. They're like, oh man, this card's gonna be so good. You finally get into play a game, you spent 25 years making your one card, and it immediately crumbles to dust because you're facing off with a Blue Eyes White Dragon. How sad. Oh, hold on. Let me put this in the pinned comment so people know what they're reacting to. Power creep. There we go. Boom. All right, cool.
The Shadow Games brought the world to the brink of destruction until an ancient pharaoh was forced to seal away the games to protect mankind from the threat that they represented.
Yeah, we should do the same for like EA and Ubisoft games now. Too many microtransactions, need to seal them away, they're too threatening.
Millennia passed, and an archaeologist named Maximilian Pegasus discovered the historic remains of the Shadow Games while on a dig in Egypt. He was granted the Millennium Eye by the spirit guardian Shadi, and used it in order to produce and mass market the Shadow Games as the modern game of Duel Monsters. This led to a renewed interest in Egyptian archaeology, which sent Solomon Moto searching through old tombs and crypts, until Solomon discovered the Millennium Puzzle, which he then gave to his grandson.
He discovered the Millennium Puzzle in an ancient crypt and thought, I don't know, this puzzle's kind of difficult. I'll give it to a 10-year-old instead. He'll probably figure it out.
Yugi. Upon solving the puzzle, Yugi unlocked the
Which must have been easy.
ancient Egyptian pharaoh sealed within, and found that this spirit would come to his aid in times of great difficulty, and was particularly adept at helping him play the game of Duel Monsters.
In times of great difficulty? What if he was doing an exam in maths or something like that? He's sitting there like, oh, Pharaoh, I don't know. What is the square root of 52? He's like, don't worry, Yugi. Yu-Gi-Oh! All of a sudden, there's like a 25-year-old man sitting in the test center like, I know exactly what the answer is, Yugi. I'll take this care of this for you.
Yugi meets the Duel Monsters national champion, Seto Kaiba, who kidnaps Solomon in order to steal his incredibly rare Blue Eyes White Dragon card, which he proceeds to shred before their very eyes.
That's crazy. You think he'd keep the Blue Eyes as like a backup? Like, what if he drops one of them? What if one falls in like a sink? I know people are usually careful about their prized possessions, but they don't have sleeves on them when they're playing their cards. They ain't got sleeves on them. Looks like they're easily tearable, right? So something could befall the cards. Might as well keep a backup.
Challenges Kaiba to a revenge duel, which the Spirit of the Millennium Puzzle helps him win by being the first player to ever successfully summon Exodia, the Forbidden One. This win attracts the attention of Maximilian Pegasus, who uses his Millennium Eye to imprison Solomon's soul away within a playing card, and coerces Yugi into competing in his upcoming Duelist Kingdom tournament. For corporate reasons, and to see his dead girlfriend again, but mostly corporate reasons. Yugi and the Pharaoh proceed to win Pegasus's competition, saving all of his victims and establishing Yugi as something of an international celebrity. Immediately following the end of the tournament, Kaiba returns home, only to find out that his company has been taken over by 5 members of its executive board, who proceed to trap him inside of a virtual reality simulation that Yugi and company have to rescue him from.
That's the most normal corporate takeover of all time. Least hostile takeover.
His brother Mokuba was there. It was weird. Believe it or not, this is going to be important.
Oh yeah, Mokuba was also like a princess.
After saving Kaiba, Yugi and the Pharaoh go on to compete in the Battle City tournament, where the Pharaoh learns about his past as the ruler of Egypt, and that his powers are tethered to the spirits of the 3 Egyptian god monsters.
All right, let's be honest. The Battle City tournament, one of the best arcs in anime history. Let's be honest right now.
The competition becomes a free-for-all power grab as various factions attempt to use it as a front to collect all of the god cards and the powers of the Pharaoh for themselves. But when the dust settles, Yugi is left holding all 3 god cards and 4 of the Millennium items. Oh, and there was this whole thing with Kaiba's other brother. That's sort of going to be important too.
That was a bad arc. I'm sorry.
While the gang does a side quest in Atlantis, Darts and the Seal of Orichalcos, the legend.
I like the Seal of Orichalcos arc. It was pretty cool because you get to see the Seal of Orichalcos, and that's kind of cool. The Waken the Dragons thing was kind of cool too. The last tournament kind of falls off completely. I think Battle City and Duelist Kingdom is exactly what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is known for, and people mostly forget about the other arcs.
Dragons, that stuff all happens, it all counts. The Kaiba Corp Grand Prix, yeah, that
I rewatched this recently, and I was like, this does not hold up.
technically counts. And then the show wraps up with the Pharaoh and the Spirit of the Millennium Ring playing a shadow game in the memory world that ends with everything being fine. The planet does not get destroyed, the good guys win, and after one last duel, Yugi and the Pharaoh finally part ways, with the Pharaoh departing for the land of the dead,
Man, that was
while
sad.
Yugi prepares to move on to adulthood.
Oh man, that was a sad ending. That episode where he just leaves. It's like, oh dude, he earned it. Yugi wins. Man, such a good ending for what's his name? Atem.
That's point 1 on our timeline. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. Done. Next, we have Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, which takes place 10 years later when Yugi bumps into a kid named Jaden Yuki, who is late for his entrance examination at Kaiba's fancy duel school. Our old hero's just kind of got a feeling about this kid, and so he hands over his Winged Karibo card and wishes Jaden luck. Jaden proceeds to win an examination duel that's been rigged against him in order to get into Duel Academy.
Man, I love GX so much. It is so unnecessarily dunked on. It's just goofy fun. Like, the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series is kind of serious, like kind of serious shonen kind of stuff where it's like, oh, the end of the world and stuff like that. This is just, we need to go to a school and we're gonna hang out with our buds and then we're gonna duel the school bully and own him and then we're gonna send him to Antarctica. What? I love GX. Also, the GX opening, almost as good as the original series opening. The game on, get your game on is so good. Yeah, Crowler's creepy.
He ends up in the Slifer dorm, which is where students with the lowest grades and records are placed, but he still ends up being the best in his year anyways. In his first year, he stops a gang of duelists from getting their hands on the Sacred Beast cards, which could have potentially led to the end of the world. In his second year, he stops.
Oh, I forgot it could potentially lead to the end of the world. That is true. But also, the Sacred Beast cards are kind of cool. I know they're just reskins of the God cards. They're like B-Tech God cards, Walmart God cards. But still, they're pretty cool. Like, the designs are nice.
Fortune teller who is possessed by a psychic light from using a satellite to brainwash the entire planet. Don't ask, it doesn't make any more sense in context. Then in his third year, he meets a cute boy, goes dimension hopping with him, runs into his ex-girl card, watches all of his friends die, becomes a mass murderer, self-actualizes, patches things up with his ex, and goes on to save the world from the devil before having a for funsies duel in the past with Yugi.
Okay, I just realized I have not seen that season. Oh man! Wow! Have I only seen season 1 and 2? Oh god! I don't remember that one.
A bunch of other characters and locations from Duel Monsters show up. Kaiba actually owns the Duel Academy where Jaden and his friends go to school, and there's also this blink and you'll miss it throwaway reference to Yugi's old high school bully, Tetsu Trudge, in the show's last season. Pretty easy to place this show in the timeline just after.
Oh, it wasn't dubbed! That's why! Why was it not in the dub?
Duel Monsters. Then comes Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds and the story
Underrated.
of Yusei Fudo. It's pretty clear from the get-go that this is the same Yu-Gi-Oh! We've always known, but different. We're a little ways in the future, and our protagonist is an orphan who grew up in the Satellite, a junk town that is all that remains of Domino City, the primary setting of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters and a reoccurring setting in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. The upper class of society lives in New Domino City, where event duels are held in a state-of-the-art arena called the Kaiba Dome, again a reference to Yugi Moto's original rival. We also learn that Kaiba's company, the Kaiba Corporation, was responsible for reconstruction efforts after Domino was destroyed.
That is insane. How powerful is the Kaiba Corporation when they deal in children's card games? I mean, they deal in other stuff too. Like, he probably sells arms to, I don't know, he probably does like military weapons contracting and things like that. Like, he makes missiles, I would imagine. But man, Kaiba's Corporation, huge.
And they eventually developed dual runner technology for the sport of turbo dueling. Oh, and Yugi's old high school bully Trudge, he shows up again here too. Now he's a thuggish beat cop who starts off working for the bad guys.
Oh, wait, so it's not that far in the future then? That is really weird that we'd have such a society not that far in the future. It seems like it's like 100 years or like 50 years into the future. There's no reason for the city to be that far advanced. How many weapons did Kaiba sell? How many missiles did he use to bomb poor countries? Who knows?
Before he learns that friendship is the true meaning of card games on motorcycles. 5Ds definitely feels like the same world as Duel Monsters and GX. It's just aged up a little bit. The franchise is finished going through puberty, and now it's ready to save the world with a driver's license. But here's where things start to get weird. 5Ds is a time travel show, and most of the events we see actually take place in an altered version of history. We eventually learn that in the original version of time, Kaiba Corp developed a technology called Momentum, or NRD in the dub, a sort of nuclear power plant that runs on the newly developed synchro summoning mechanic in the Duel Monsters card game.
It's so silly. They invented time travel because they have a new form of energy that was created via synchro summoning, which is a mechanic in a children's card game.
And this new synchro technology led to a golden age of prosperity on Earth. And everybody just played Yu-Gi-Oh! All day while riding on their motorcycles, and everything was just perfect.
Let's go!
But humanity didn't realize that using synchro monsters to run their power plants was affecting the evolution of the species. Momentum reactors were basically releasing Duel Monsters radiation across the planet, and people spent 200 years mutating because of it, becoming more cruel, selfish, and destructive.
Why does mutation never do cool things? Oh, wait, no, it does in like Marvel shows where you become like Spider-Man and stuff like that. Why can't radiation in the real world like do good things and not just melt your skin off your face? Why is it always bad things that happen when you overdose on things? Why can't that be like a cool reaction? Oh, you took too many drugs? You can levitate now. What if that? That's kind of like BioShock, actually. Yeah, that's why BioShock's the greatest game of all time.
They kept pushing momentum technology further and further without realizing that Moment, the operating system running all the momentum tech on the planet, had become self-aware, which led to a classic man versus machine apocalyptic war called the Mech Lord Genocides, which ended when all the momentum reactors on the planet exploded, wiping out both sides and leaving the war without a winner.
Oh my god, that's terrible. I don't even remember that part. Well, it's been a while since I've watched 5Ds, to be fair. I think I watched it like 5 years ago, and I was like, wow, this is actually a lot of fun. Like, they have these Norse god cards and stuff like that. I totally forgot the lore.
However, there were 4 human survivors: Zone, Antinomy, Aporia, and Paradox. And these 4 scientists searched for a way to bring back humanity by changing the past, salvaging any functional human or mech lord technology that they could find in order to build a working time machine. And eventually, they succeeded and journeyed back in time. Okay, well actually, no. Technically, they all got old and died, but their consciousnesses were uploaded into android duplicates of themselves, and the androids are completely capable of feeling emotion and remembering the pain of mankind's end, so the androids went back in time, which feels like an unnecessary complication in the story, but whatever.
No, it's to add the cool factor. Like, they're like, oh yeah, they're old guys, so we can make the old guys go back in time. But what if the old guys were too late and they all died, but they're androids now? Like, that's what happened in the writer's room. And to be fair, it sounds pretty cool. Like, ooh, there's androids? That's kind of cool.
In any event, that's the end of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Timeline. We
Oh.
got Duel Monsters, and then GX, and then the Kaiba Corp
Oh, that's
releases
sad.
momentum technology into the world. 200 years later, Moment becomes self-aware, there's a global man versus machine war, the reactors go kabloom, everybody dies, and 4 robots go back in time to try to fix it.
See, this is why capitalism bad. This is why Kaiba Corp, capitalism bad.
That is the complete first Yu-Gi-Oh! Timeline.
Damn, that's sad.
It's a very sad story. But fortunately for everybody, this timeline gets completely overwritten. It doesn't exist anymore. After abandoning the year 2200 and something, the Zone, Antinomy, Paradox, and Aporia androids proceed to spend centuries rewriting history in various failed attempts at preventing the Mech Lord genocides from ever happening.
What did they
founded
do?
A secret society known as Iliaster in order to reshape history over the course of millennia.
Oh my god, they made the Illuminati. Oh, maybe it's right. They made a secret society that is in the background shaping the decisions made by governments and important people. They literally made the Illuminati.
Throughout 5Ds, we see Iliaster change history several times. But
What did he do?
each time that they do, the present is rewritten to reflect its new past. When Paradox goes back in time to kill Duel Monsters creator Maximilian Pegasus,
What?
we watch Yusei's period in history begin to collapse as its relative past is altered.
No more
Yusei
guard
has
games?
to follow Paradox back in time and save Pegasus in order to prevent his world from being erased.
They just watched too much of the Terminator, didn't they? They were like, whoa, what if we did the Terminator, but it was Yu-Gi-Oh?
This is important because the next show in the series, Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, or Zale if you prefer the original pronunciation, is where things start to get fuzzy. The story of Zexal follows Yuma Tsukumo as he bonds with an alien spirit creature named Astral, who is suffering from some card game-related amnesia. The series focuses on the pair as they search for Astral's lost memories, and later find themselves caught up in a war between Astral's homeworld and the invaders from Barian World. Unlike all the previous shows, Zexal doesn't go out of its way to...
Wait, and to fight this war, they play Of course they play card games. I just think it's so funny that everything is card games. It's so awesome.
Draw a line back to its predecessors. There are no characters from Duel Monsters GX or 5Ds around. There are no subtle name drops or familiar locations, and all the new mechanics introduced in 5Ds, like synchro summoning and turbo dueling, are just gone. But there is suddenly this new mechanic called Xyz summoning, which works kinda like synchro summoning, but, different.
It always confused me why it's called XC summoning when it's XYZs. I'm like, it doesn't, I guess you could kind of get a pronunciation from that, but it's still a little weird.
Plus, the show kind of feels like a soft reboot of Duel Monsters, with Yuma and Astral's relationship and final duel with one another closely mirroring the story of Yugi and the Pharaoh. Maybe?
They tried to be him, but they can never be him.
This is the beginning of its own separate universe. But I genuinely don't think so. 5Ds went out of its way to establish that Yu-Gi-Oh's story existed on a single, rewritable timeline. So it would be weird for the next entry in the franchise to throw that out right away. And there are a lot of subtle clues connecting Zexal back to the original trilogy of Yu-Gi-Oh shows. For example, the Fudo family from 5Ds promised us that momentum technology would lead to a venerable, utopia for all of mankind, which is exactly what Heartland City seems to be. Pollution
pretty good.
and poverty are nowhere to be seen. Automated systems take care of day-to-day affairs like sanitation and security. Everybody seems to have ready access to all of the world's futuristic technology. This is the world that Yusei and his father dreamed of creating for mankind. And while the show never discusses the origins of Xyz summoning, there is some interesting lore from the real-world trading card game that fills in the gaps. The 2011 starter deck, Dawn of the Xyz, states that Xyz monsters are made from antimatter and arrive in this universe through a black hole.
Huh?
Which is an odd coincidence, since Yusei happens to witness the
What? They have antimatter? They're like, oh, what can we do with this antimatter? Why don't we make some cool cards?
of a new black hole in the last few episodes of 5Ds, and ends the series in possession of the device that Antinomy used to travel to that black hole. Plus, in Zexal, Heartland uses black holes as part of their sanitation department, shooting trash into space rather than letting it pile up on Earth.
Oh my god, imagine having a point of civilization where you create tiny black holes just so that you can shit in it.
Throw in all the Duel Monsters and GX era monsters and symbols that show up in the Duel Lodge during Zexal's first season, and I think we've gone way past coincidence. There are just too many clues tethering this show back to the original 3 to ignore. Sure, enough time has passed that people aren't commonly discussing the events of the 3 previous shows.
Yeah, I think it's just too far into the future. It would be like hundreds. This would take hundreds of years to build, in theory. I mean, it's anime land, so it can take however long it really needs to take. But this looks like it would take hundreds of years to create this. So it's probably just too far in the future where those people are just like a thing of the past. It would be like us referencing random people from like the 1500s on a regular basis. It's like, yeah, you kind of know of them, but people aren't going to run around and be like, oh my god, Francois, King of France, did this on a normal basis when you're trying to play card games in your mates. Yeah, you're not going to do that.
But their histories are very much ingrained into the world of Zexal. And personally, I think that the show is so much more interesting if you look at it in the context of its predecessors. For example, near the end of Zexal, we learn that the universe was created when a divine dragon willed it and all of life into existence.
Wait, what? A divine dragon willed things into existence? Is this Dragon Ball? Is that Shenron?
But that the effort of creating reality ultimately caused that dragon's body to die and its soul to crash land on Earth, flooding the planet with an energy known as chaos. A power that has mostly disappeared by the time Zexal starts.
So God is dead then.
But where did it go? Why did it disappear? Well, looking at it in the context of Duel Monsters, I'd say that chaos is the power that the Pharaoh sealed away when he banished the Shadow Games from our world. Egyptian sorcerers were harnessing their chaos to bind monster spirits to their will, and brought about the end of the world, which is why the Pharaoh was ultimately forced to seal that power away. Sure, you could still use existing chaos items, like the Millennium items or the Shadow Charms, in order to initiate Shadow Games.
Okay, so we're saying that the Millennium items are actually just pieces of God, and that's why they have special powers. Okay, I mean, I can get behind that.
But ordinary people lost the ability to just do magic once chaos was sealed away. Flash forward a few thousand years, and 5Ds ends with Yusei and the Signers preventing the end of the world, and with Yusei taking over the development of Project Moment for New Domino City. The show always framed synchro summoning and momentum reactors as an allegory for real-world nuclear energy, which currently holds the distinction of having the highest capacity factor of any non-theoretical energy source. But by the time of Zexal, the nuclear metaphor has been replaced by antimatter, which currently holds the distinction of having the highest capacity factor of any theoretical energy source, suggesting that nuclear synchro energy was phased out for safer and more efficient antimatter Xyz reactors.
Having antimatter be more safe and efficient is kind of hilarious. The only thing I know about antimatter is it just destroys matter, which I don't think it does. I'm not a scientist. I'm a dumb idiot. I'm big, dumb, stupid. But whenever I think about antimatter, it's like, oh, it's the thing that just destroys everything.
And Zexal doesn't just tie a line back to the original 3 Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows. It also sets up some pretty important plot points that future shows will tackle later. In Zexal, Yuma gets caught up in the renewed war between Astral World and Baryon World. Both sides race to get a hold of the Numeron Code, a Duel Monsters card containing the infinite power of the Creator Dragon. And the series ends with the character Astral using the Numeron Code to reunite Astral World and Baryon World, an action that we're warned has allowed the power of Chaos to return to Earth, and which will have grave consequences. A lot of fans have criticized the show for failing to explain what those consequences were, But I actually think we did get our answers in the very next show. Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5.
Again, I have no idea what is going on in Arc 5. Zexal in Arc 5, I completely dropped off Yu-Gi-Oh! I still play the old games. I still play like Duel Links. I would still play some of the old games. Like, I would go back every now and then and play Duelist of the Roses because that's an absolutely go game. I loved that. And I played so many Yu-Gi-Oh! Games when I was a kid. But this part, I kind of fell off Pokemon at this part as well. This is when I was like in high school. And it was, you know, you saw you doing other things. You're playing Call of Duty and Halo instead. That's what I was spending my time doing.
Throughout this series, the main characters are constantly jumping back and forth between dimensions that correspond to the different summoning methods in the game. So there's a standard dimension, a fusion dimension, a synchro dimension, and an Xyz dimension.
Oh, so they're saying that the Xyz dimension is actually separate to the synchro dimension? But in this timeline, we're saying that it's from the same dimension. So how are we going to explain that one away? Also, why is there a different fusion dimension and a normal summoning dimension? That just makes things overly complicated. This was the first multiverse before Doctor Strange could even set his foot in it.
And each one resembles the show and the time period in which that summoning method was mainly used. So there are a lot of familiar characters like Alexis Rhodes and Aster Phoenix in the fusion dimension, and most of them tie back to Duel Academy. Special cards and plot points from GX show up again here after years of being absent from the anime. And then the Synchro and Xyz dimensions resemble 5Ds and Zexal in the same way. But then at the end of Arc 5, we learn that all of the different dimensions used to be a single, unified dimension.
Oh, they got split. Okay. I want to say fusion is definitely my favorite type of like mechanic that they use in terms of like Synchro, XYZ, Pendulum. The new one, Link Summoning. Yeah, fusions are just cool. I've always loved the idea of fusions in Dragon Ball, Pokemon, in Yu-Gi-Oh! I just think fusing things together to create new creatures is a really cool idea.
That is when it all made sense. The original dimension that we see in flashbacks in Arc 5 is the continuity of all the shows prior to Arc 5. Duel Monsters, GX, 5Ds, and Zexal all happened in the original dimension. Everything from the Numeron Dragon creating the...
Oh my god, that is... Come on, man. You can't convince me that's not Golden Shenron. He has the horns as well. I understand that the horns and the entire design are probably based off of the same original inspiration. But man, they look so similar. Come on.
To Astral using the Numeron code and inadvertently allowing chaos energy to return to mankind. That all happened in one timeline. But what happened next? Well, at the end of Arc 5, we learn about a duelist. A duelist who had no magical items or special technology, who fused with the spirit of his 4 ace monsters and threatened to destroy the world.
Why?
A duelist named Zark.
Zark?
Zark is the consequence of Astral using the Numeron code at the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. By unsealing the power locked away by the Pharaoh, Astral set the stage for the end of the world. In the end, the battle against Zark grew so intense that reality itself split apart, causing it to reform as the 4 different dimensions. And this is the first and only point where the Yu-Gi-Oh! Timeline actually splits. But it doesn't branch off
no, no separate timelines.
Time travel story. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Of course it's much weirder than that. It actually splits into pieces, and each piece keeps on growing, creating 4 new timelines, all set during different periods in history, but all happening at the same time.
Well, that's
weird.
Why
didn't history just happen the same way that it did last time? Why was the fusion dimension so different from what we saw in GX? And the same goes for the other 3. Well, there are 3 big reasons. The first is that there seem to be some characters noticeably absent from their respective time periods. Where are Yugi, Jaden, Yusei, and Yuma in the new dimensions?
They ran out of plot armor. At the end of the series, they're officially not allowed to have plot armor anymore, so they got like hit by a car, or a bird gouged their eyes out by accident, or they had a heart attack on the way down the stairs, or they tripped. There's a lot of ways these guys can go without plot armor.
These were major players in history, and they're all just gone. Secondly, on the day that the new dimensions were created, 2 new babies were born in each one that had not existed in the original timeline. Yuya Sakaki and Zuzu Boyle were born in the standard dimension, Yuri and Selena in the fusion dimension, Yugo and Rin in Synchro, and Yuto and Lulu in the Xyz dimension.
That is so many characters.
These 4 boys were reincarnations of Zark, with each child possessing a fraction of his soul, while the girls were reincarnations of Rei, the duelist who finally defeated Zark before reality split.
See, I keep telling you. That's why all men are trash. This is why men are evil.
And of course, course, the third and most obvious reason that the dimensions ended up being different is that Arc 5 antagonist Leo Akiba derailed history when he started jumping between dimensions and starting wars. For all intents and purposes, Leo Akiba is a time travel from the future who jumped back and forth between the different dimensions and their different periods in history, bringing new technology with him. Where the standard dimension started out with nothing but the original Kaiba Corp era dual discs, Leo Akiba used his knowledge of the future in order to create his solid vision dual discs. This pollution of history caused things to play out in a fundamentally different way, where the fusion, synchro, and exceeds dimensions are fundamentally unrecognizable from their original versions of history. The plot of Arc 5 sees Zark reunite all the lost pieces of his spirit in order to resurrect himself, only to be thwarted by the heroes from all 4 dimensions and his old foe Rei. This jumbles up reality again, causing the standard dimension to be recreated as the pendulum dimension.
Oh no! Not the pendulum dimension! Nah, it's a dead joke at this point. I understand everyone dunks on pendulums, but like, they're a little goofy.
Zark's essence is trapped and later purified in a baby. It's a little weird. And that
makes sense. If you send someone back to being a baby, then they don't have the original evilness. They don't have the original personality disorders or whatever it is that make them do the things they do in the first place. A baby is untouched. A baby is the ideal icon of purity and innocence. A baby does not have hate. A baby has only a blank slate.
Is the complete Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime timeline. A magic dragon created the universe and cried itself to death. Its tears gave magic to the earth. People spent a few thousand years playing cards with one another until time exploded. Then one guy started an interdimensional war and blew time up again, which was ultimately fine because an evil baby smiled.
Nice.
It's a beautiful, wonderful series.
And it all makes
Anyone
sense.
Who says otherwise is wrong.
Yeah, and there is no other shows after Arc 5. There is definitely not a show called Reigns. And that's it. That's the end of the timeline. And there's definitely not 16 minutes left on this video, so we can all call it. Okay, let's keep going.
And as ridiculous as that description was, I feel like these clues fit together well enough that this may have actually been intentional on someone's part on the writing team. We'll never know. Konami has long since made it clear that they don't want to be bothered with an ever-expanding continuity, and now that the anime is being produced by an entirely different studio, who knows?
Oh my god, wait, Go Rush and Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens? I watched the first few episodes of Sevens and I was like, it's not bad, it's okay.
Rights to what characters are jumbled up where. But I like to believe that there was one die-hard fan of the show on the staff who was like, no! I will make sure there's one interconnected continuity! Or is that just me? Why aren't you paying me for this, Konami?
True! Pay this man! Like, you'll have lore masters for every single franchise now. Hire this man as a lore master. Make it all make sense.
That's a connected timeline for the Duel Monsters through Arc 5 animes. But to include Brains, Sevens, Go Rush, and the various manga projects, we're going to have to move from a mildly compelling game of connect the dots to some leap of logic speculation.
Let's go!
The story of Playmaker and the Link Brain simulation is a weird one to fit into the series chronology. And after more research on the subject than I care to admit, I found one small detail. A tiny clue. One crumb of information that has me absolutely convinced that it does.
Okay.
Reveal trap card!
What is it?
Dimensional barrier!
Is that it?
Alright.
Right?
Let me explain. Dimensional barrier is a trap card.
Oh my god, wait, it's actually the card? I thought that was like a lead up to the reveal. Is this is okay.
It's released in the Arc 5 era booster pack, Invasion Vengeance. Its effect allows the user to declare a type of monster and negate the summoning and effects of that type of monster for the rest of the turn. Most importantly, the allowable monster types are Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, Pendulum, and Ritual, implying that Ritual energy was mostly isolated to one little dimension of its own alongside the rest of the summoning powers.
Okay.
Even if we accept this card that's never appeared in the anime at face value, how do we get from a Ritual dimension exist?
Okay, we're going into the real goofy stuff now. We're going into the MatPat level of theory now. Let's go.
To playmakers playing in the Ritual dimension. Well, to start, their simple process of elimination. Brains just doesn't seem to fit with any of the dimensions established in Arc 5, with the technology seen throughout the show appearing to be both more sophisticated in some areas, but less in others, suggesting that
that just seems like it's the normal progression of humanity. There's so many places on the planet that are really, like, stricken by poverty, or they have really, really old tech. If you go to some places in Japan, they still use fax machines. But if you go to other places, they have capsule hotels, and they have super technology. They have actual massive mecha robots. So it's just like normal Earth, right?
Real development occurred on a completely separate track from those worlds seen previously. Even the game of Duel Monsters has regressed. In the first 5 series, duelists wishing to perform fusion, synchro, and Xyz summoning were able to do so relatively uninhibited, so long as they had the necessary cards to pull it off. But Vrains introduced some pretty specific limitations on advanced summoning, namely that players couldn't summon more than one fusion, synchro, or Xyz monster without the aid of newly introduced Link monsters.
Could you imagine that there was riots in the Yu-Gi-Oh world when that was introduced? I don't know if it was genuinely in there from the beginning in this dimension, or if it was a change that was made to the game afterwards, but there would have been protests, there would have been riots. Only one fusion summoned? What, are you kidding me? This would have been a big change. This would be a political upheaval to which the world's never seen. Coups would be launched on behalf of this change to duel monsters in this world.
Why? Well, it makes sense when you consider this in terms of energy. In Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, we learn that dueling energy, or Ener-D as they call it in the dub, is a measurable phenomenon, something which Arc 5 reaffirms when the Leo Corporation begins covertly tracking duelists by monitoring the power output their cards generate when played. And while duelists are able to perform each summoning method in any dimension, it is suggested that each type of energy is limited outside of its home dimension, meaning that fusion energy, and therefore the ability to fusion summon, probably has some limits outside of the fusion dimension. Ditto for Synchro and Xyz.
Okay.
Enter Link monsters.
Oh, and since this is a completely different dimension, they would all have less power, and therefore they have less spaces on the board. I like that we're using actual in-game universal information to justify this dumb new rule they added to the game.
Playmaker and the other Link Vrains duelists frequently refer to the process of Link summoning as the closing of a circuit, which is important because of how they facilitate the use of extra deck monsters. An electrical circuit is simply an interconnection network that creates a path for an electrical current. Or, put simply, a circuit conducts energy from point A to point B. While there might be a deficit of fusion, synchro, and Xyz energy in the network of Link Vrains, duelists can pass more readily available power through their Link monsters and onto their other advanced monsters. But what's the one advanced monster type that doesn't require a Link monster to come onto the main monster field?
Pendulum?
Ritual monsters.
Ritual.
There is no restriction on ritual summoning, and Vrains represented something of a ritual renaissance for the franchise.
Which is cool because ritual monsters always seemed like a really cool idea, but there was only like Relinquish that was good and nothing else mattered. Like you'd have the Magician of Black Chaos, but it kind of sucked. It wasn't really that good. And all the other ones were just fine. What, you really gonna use Hamburglar? You're gonna use the hamburger one? No, you're not gonna use the hamburger one. They all kind of sucked. The whale, the big crab. It was an interesting idea because you really needed these specific cards to be able to summon these monsters, but it was never worth it. You'd be going down like 3 cards just to summon something that has like 2,000 attack with no effect. It's completely pointless.
The show features several instances of ritual summoning, the most of any series since the original Duel Monsters. 33 of the 114 ritual monsters in the game, or just under 30%, were released during the show's first run in Japan. And the Link monster card art looks kind of like ritual summoning's edgelord younger brother, which kind of makes sense.
Same color.
After all, what is a Link monster? It's a computer program. We see Playmaker assemble them by manipulating data storms throughout the series, and his series of Talker Ace monsters are all based on programming protocols. But what is a program? It's a repeatable series of processes that perform a specific task. And what's a ritual? Archaeologically speaking, it's a series of processes that perform a specific task.
Oh my god.
Sacrifice 99 villagers and you get 7 Millennium items.
Oh my god.
Reload to a Fierce Knight and you get a Blackluster Soldier. Compile 4 sub-programs and you get a Firewall Dragon. Intelligent enough machines can...
I can't believe it. Rituals are just the programming of the past. Except rituals don't actually work.
replicate ritualistic behavior. And suddenly, Link Vrains has the ability to source out additional power for the anemic summoning methods.
So if you were a programmer, you may be unintentionally doing Satanism.
Speaking of Link monsters, the show's first season doesn't feature any advanced summoning mechanics other than Link summoning. But right off the bat in episode 2 of season 2, Playmaker performs the show's first non-Link special summoning.
A ritual.
And who does he call forth? The Dark Magician-inspired ritual monster, Cyburst Magician. A few episodes later, we meet Soulburner's Salamangreat Emerald Eagle, before seeing Cyburst Magician again. This means ritual monsters beat Fusion, Synchro, and Xyz monsters to the screen not 1, not 2, but 3 times in this particular series. But there is a hole in our theory. The other 4 dimensions...
There's a white hole card? Wait, there's a white hole card?
Series.
Wait, what does it do? When your opponent activates Dark Hole, monsters you control cannot be... What a pointless card! What? That is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life! Why would you ever use this? This is the worst thing that I have ever seen. Dark Hole is not used by anyone. Never mind having a trap in your deck that you need to place the turn before someone uses Dark Hole so that you can use it at the correct time, that you may not even draw at the correct time, that you probably have to have 3 of just to even have a chance of being used correctly, all so that you can just protect some of your monsters from Dark Hole when so many monsters already are unaffected by spells, traps. Most cards that you'd have in your deck have some kind of protection against spells already. What the fuck did they make this for? What a terrible ass card.
Hole in our theory. The other 4 dimensions each resemble a specific period in history. A period where their preferred summoning method was at its height, meaning that a ritual dimension should theoretically exist when ritual summoning was at its peak. But when was ritual summoning at its height? Well, we don't really know, but we see the most instances of ritual summoning during the Duel Monsters era of the show, particularly during the Duelist Kingdom and pre-Battle City arcs, suggesting that a ritual dimension would likely be centered around this period. Similar to the world we saw in the original anime, but different. And wouldn't you know...
It also makes sense that the ritual dimension is in the original dimension because rituals are based off of old-timey practices from thousands and hundreds of years ago, where the entire point of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series is to relate back to the ancient times from ancient Egypt where rituals may actually have been used. So that makes sense too.
No, we've already seen a world that's similar to the original anime, but different. In the film Dark Side of Dimensions, we see Kaiba unveil a new boss monster, the ritual-based Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon.
This card is sick. I've actually used this card in real life in Duels. I love it. It is so cool.
Moreover, the film's antagonist, Aigami, introduces a brand new, never-before-seen summoning method, the curiously named Dimension Summoning Method. But the most important thing to take note of in this film are the new duel discs that Kaiba unveils during the movie. Blue hologram projectors that store card data as software so that duelists no longer require physical cards to play the game. These duel discs are functionally identical to the ones seen across Link Vrains. Soul Technologies is widely distributing the technology that Seto Kaiba invented, implying that Vrains takes place after Darkside. They exist on a single timeline, a timeline when this portion of history split off and became the ritual dimension, and where history played out differently from what we saw in the original series.
Okay.
Sure, things are similar. There's a Yugi and a Kaiba who were rivals and who saved the world. But this Yugi and this Kaiba are not the same as this Yugi and this Kaiba.
Okay.
They're actually the same as this Yugi and Kaiba.
The manga versions. All right.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Creator Kazuki Takahashi.
Rest in peace, the GOAT. Moment to just respect the fact that the GOAT lost his life saving other people from drowning. R.I.P.
Who served as the film's sole credited screenwriter, has definitively stated that the movie serves as a sequel to his original manga and not the animated series produced by Studio Gallop.
Oh, okay.
And OnlyFans, this is why Kaiba seems to have forgotten being present for the ceremonial duel between Yugi and Atem. In the manga, he wasn't there. Kaiba disappeared after the Battle City arc, and remained absent until the Dark Side prequel special, Transcend Game.
Wait, Kaiba disappeared after Battle C? So he's not in any of the arcs after that? What? He's not in the dragon thing? He's not in the there's no Noah virtual reality thing. There's no final battle arc. What?
And that, fellow duelists, brings us to the crux of this theory. Today, I propose that the ritual dimension is no more than the Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga timeline.
There was only Egypt after the battle city in the manga? What? So everything is filler? No. Then you're gonna tell me the Duke Devlin thing was filler as well. Pff, there's no way.
A version of history that was created after the rise of the Supreme King Zark and the fall of the original dimension. As the dimension set in the earliest period in history, and with no Zark fragments running around to fundamentally alter the course of events, this timeline would have continued on, moving into a GX era, then a 5Ds.
Wait, so what happens in the GX era then? Also, is that supposed to be Elemental Hero Neos that he's got on the start there? Because that's not what Neos looks like. Oh, this is so different. Do I need to read the manga?
Then on to a Zexal, before reaching a new version of the Arc 5 period, where Zark never rose.
It's entirely
to power,
different.
allowing history to move on to the era of Link Vrains. And this theory is given weight by the fact that Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains is the first and only Yu-Gi-Oh! Series not to feature a companion manga, with the print version skipping it entirely
Because Vrains is the manga!
in favor of publishing an adaptation of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s instead. But why would we need a manga if this is, in reality, the story of the manga?
Well, okay, let's be honest. Animes exist so they can translate the story of the manga most of the time. I had no idea that GX was completely different. I had no idea that 5Ds was completely different. I need to have a look at... I need a whole ass video just to see what happened in GX and 5Ds then. And the original series, like, what's different? Oh my god, I need to check out all of this stuff now. There's so much just that's opened up to me.
But for those of you who are familiar with the manga versions of these stories, you might well be asking yourself why the stories presented in print are so different from the ones seen on screen.
Yeah,
After
why?
all, the GX manga also tells the story of Jade and Yuki's first year at Duel Academy, but rather than facing off against the Shadow Riders and the Sacred Beasts, Jaden is forced to contend with the dual spirit Trigadia, a creature whose Ka was created from a survivor of the massacre that created the Millennium Items.
Oh my god.
The 5Ds manga doesn't feature Zone's apocalyptic future or time travel elements, but instead sees Yusei Fudo face off against the Goodwin brothers to prevent the Festival of Destiny, an
What?
ancient ritual used to resurrect the ultimate god.
What?
And Arc 5 is a time travel story that sees hero from the future, Yuya Sakaki, come back in time to seduce his own grandmother.
What?
Yeah, not making that up.
Oh, it's like that Futurama episode. You're your own grandpa.
But why? Why are the stories and narratives in the ritual dimension so different from the ones seen in the original dimension? Well, it all comes down to one small change for one character. Kaiba. In the original dimension, Seto Kaiba was present for the ceremonial duel between Yugi and the Pharaoh. He witnessed the Pharaoh bring out all 3 Egyptian god cards, the power that Kaiba himself had sought, and the Pharaoh still lost to Yugi. Kaiba's rivalry with the Pharaoh was put to rest.
Yeah, because the Egyptian cards aren't actually that good, and having to sacrifice 3 monsters on your field just to bring out 1 card that isn't even protected for the most part from like spells and traps and stuff, and they have like very basic protection, it's like not that good, you know, so you just like trap hole it, probably.
Because he saw for himself that Yugi was the true king of games. But in the ritual dimension, that never happened. Kaiba wasn't present for the final duel of the story. He didn't set foot into the Pharaoh's tomb until the events of Darkside.
That is true. The anime effects are actually different from the in-game effects, but the anime effects are just like nonsense that you make up. I swear to God, everyone just makes up the effects. Marek, when he was playing the Winged Dragon of Ra, was like, now I'll summon the Winged Dragon of Ra! And with its special effect, I'll become the Winged Dragon of Ra, and then I beat everyone, and I can't be destroyed by any monsters, and I'm also protected from anything. And if I die, then I come back again, and I don't have to pay taxes anymore. They just make that up.
His rivalry with the Pharaoh was never given closure, and so he began to obsessively search for a way to bring Atem back from the land of the dead. Where his anime counterpart moved on with his life and began projects in space exploration and renewable energy, The manga Kaiba
He became like a competent version of Elon Musk.
dedicated himself to getting his final rematch with his lost rival. And at the end of Dark Side of Dimensions, we see him hurl himself into the land of the dead. To me, this
Least obsessive friend or stalker. I think Kaiba is in love with Atem, and he just wants to give him kiss. He's like, please, Yugi! I need you to kiss me on the lips, Yugi. Please. I came back in time so I could taste those sweet cheeks, Yugi.
This scene always read as though Kaiba knew that this would be a one-way trip. When his little brother worried that he might not come back, Kaiba evaded the subject and left everything in Mokuba's hands. When he reaches the afterlife,
Damn, he said, sorry, bro. I know that we're family and I love you and all, but I'm gonna go die in the Egyptian ages because I really want to kiss Yugi.
his body began to dissolve as he abandoned his crashed dimension ship. Seto Kaiba was willing to die if it meant proving to himself that he really was the best of the best, and his death would have changed everything we know about the story of Yu-Gi-Oh! After Duel Monsters.
Oh my god, could you imagine if he goes back in time and still fucking loses? Atem stands up, he's like, alright, fine. And he fucking beats him, and then he just dissolves. He's like, no!
Who orchestrated the events of the GX and 5D's animes? Seto Kaiba. He founded the Duel Academy to study the mysteries surrounding the game of Duel Monsters, and had a direct hand in multiple aspects of the Light of Destruction and Dark Dimension storylines. The Kaiba Corporation was responsible for Momentum, the destruction of Domino City, and the construction of New Domino City. But what if Kaiba had never been there? Would any of those stories have taken place? Probably not. Adventurers like Jaden Yuki and Yusei Fudo would still have been drawn to greatness, going out and forging their own stories regardless of the circumstances around them. But without Kaiba there to kick off the events that shaped their lives, the journeys they found themselves on would have been entirely different. Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, a story where Kaiba's influence is much less pronounced, is coincidentally the only manga adaptation that retains the same core plot as its anime counterpart. And of course, the events of Arc 5 would have been completely different, as this is a dimension where Zark was never born, meaning that the Yuya, Yuto, Yugo, and Yuri seen within the events of the Arc 5 manga would be natural-born humans, free from the corruption of Zark's influence, and born as brothers within a single dimension, because the ritual dimension never repeated the events that caused the original dimension to divide in the first place. In many ways, this world is what the original dimension should have been. A single, unbroken universe that carries on where its predecessor failed. But what about Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 and Go Rush, you might be asking? Well, from the first episode of 7,
Kid show.
I think it's pretty obvious that this show takes place after Vrains. In the premiere episode, protagonist Yuga Odo creates the new Rush Duel format, as he felt that the game had become too structured and restricted.
That's so funny. That's literally what we used to do in the school when we were kids. Whenever there was something that you didn't like about the actual rules, you would just be like, well, I don't want to use the rules. I swear, when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! On the schoolyard with my friends, people wouldn't tribute. People would use, like, spells in the monster zone. They would put cards, like, face-down attack mode. They just made his own version of the game, which is exactly what kids do, which is really cool. I like that.
Mirroring the sentiments that fans all over the world had about the Master Rules format implemented during the Vrains era of the game. After Yuga accidentally forced the world to adopt the Rush Duel format, the Link Vrains simulation would have been incompatible and fallen out of prevalence. Then comes Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush, which is
Okay, I've never even heard of Go Rush until now.
a direct sequel to Sevens. Main characters Yui and Yuamu Oga are related to Yuga, and the world is still utilizing Yuga's Rush Duel format. And where the franchise goes from here? I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see what comes with time.
Damn, that was fun. I like that. That was a lot of fun. Oops. Wait, time. Whoa, what's happening? Whoa, what's going on? Wait, hey.
Time.
Whoa, what's going on?
Time is a strange thing.
Oh god.
It's been almost 3 years since I started making Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos. Those of you who follow my channel have probably noticed that I haven't uploaded much content this year.
Oh, it is the end of the video. Well, I think this is a fantastic video. You did upload this in 2022, so hopefully you're still going because this was so well made. It was really awesome. Oh, he uploaded 6 months ago. I mean, this was an awesome video. I really enjoyed this a lot. So, Spell Commander, you did a really good job. I imagine you're not watching this, but if you are, I think you should keep making videos because you are really good at it. And if you want me to react to any videos, let me know on my Discord server. Oh, that was so good. That was awesome. I love that. So great, right? I had a good time with that. All right. So I need to sit down because it's sit down time. It's time to sit down. Yeah, that was great. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Thoroughly enjoyed it. All right. Oh God, my back. I'm an old man. So maybe I need to figure out like what the difference is between the manga and the anime series is now. Or not right now, but I need to figure out at some point what the differences are. Maybe there's a video that describes the changes. Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime versus manga. Oh, is there sick differences? Yu-Gi-Oh! GX anime versus manga. Oh, that's just GX. That's not 5Ds as well. Maybe we'll try and find one. See if there's anything I can react to there, right? Yeah, we're gonna do some Marvel Zombies as well. All right, hold on. Before I do Marvel Zombies, let's check in on Shady. He's doing a subathon. Let's see how he's doing so far. Hopefully he's not doing so bad. Let's check in real quick.
Dream Punch. Hard swap at the Fampy. Hit that EQ. Dab on him with the Ice Shard. Double
Did you see dab on him?
Got 2 Bs. Swap out of the Banary. Fake out. Healing Wish. Fletchling. Double Great Bird. I'm so good at
there you go.
games.
He's killing it. He's doing so well.
Okay. Let's decide now. We've been live for 2 hours. What hour mark should we stop Radical Red and spin the wheel for the next game?
Now.
Do we think at 4
do it
hours
right now.
of stream time?
Oh, what else is he playing? I wonder what else he's gonna do. I want to see the wheel. Do it now. Type now in the chat.
Just
no,
keep going
I'm
until
nervous.
you win, and then spin the wheel.
Just keep going until you win. People don't win Radical Red. Apart from me, I won Radical Red. I did. I won Radical Red. 100%. I definitely did. All right, let's move on to a little bit of Zambinos, huh? There's a whole Marvel Zombies timeline. A little bit of Zambino time, right? God, I love lore. I love timelines. Having things explained to me and then react to that is very fun. Okay. Let's give it a little sip. Also, I had an update on the sub noodles, and it is moving forward. So hopefully it won't take too long before we have sub noodles. Sub noodles available for a limited time purchase. Hopefully it will not take too long. I've been in talking with them, and the look is looking good. All right. Oh my god. Let me crack everything real quick. Yeah. Sub noodle plush time, baby. That's right. Okay. You guys ready? Recently, I dived into the deep, dark depths that is the different Marvel timelines, of which there is literally thousands. I looked at Marvel Ruins, which is what is the worst possible outcome for anything that can happen in the Marvel Universe. And then it was told that there is a Marvel Zombies universe that was created by the same person that made The Walking Dead. So let's learn about that, shall we? Got a little video from Smokey's videos. I don't know if I'm excited or if it's going to be good, but we'll find out.
A decade ago, almost 2 now, the zombie film genre was all the slow and shuffling rage. So much so that Marvel got the creator of The Walking Dead to write a story where all your favorite Marvel heroes are turned into terrible cannibalistic creatures with an insatiable hunger. But
they did go hard on it. It's not like they grabbed some random person off the street, some random bozo, like, come and write our zombies thing. They took the writer from the most popular zombie franchise at the time, The Walking Dead, which was getting, like, millions and millions and millions of views every episode before it fell off completely. And they were like, yeah, make a Marvel Zombie. So it has to at least be decently good. It has to have some modicum of quality, surely.
But to make matters worse, they keep their intelligence and personalities. Needless to say, I love Marvel Zombies.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot of gore in this. Obviously, it's a zombie show. But they keep their personalities? That's kind of fun, actually, rather than being like mindless brain suckers. That's fun.
I'm very excited to see what is done in one 30-minute episode of the Disney Plus series. I love Marvel Zombies so much that I customized some Marvel Legends action figures and turned them into their Marvel Zombies
Oh my
counterparts.
god. Wow.
Pay no mind to all that dust. I haven't made time to clean that part of my collection.
Okay,
Released
we'll
in
do. No, it's part of the aesthetic. They're dusty because they don't move because they're zombies. It's part of it.
2005, written by Robert Kirkman, with art by Sean Phillips. This is Marvel Zombies.
Oh boy, here we go.
Which actually spun out of a storyline in Ultimate Fantastic Four, in which the zombified Reed Richards tricked the Ultimate Reed Richards to open a portal to his universe so that the zombies who had already eaten all the humans on Earth could eat all the humans in other realities. But luckily the zombies are held at bay by Magneto, which also allowed the FF to return to their universe, and the teleporter was destroyed. There's also a crossover with Ash Williams from The Evil Dead, where he's sent to the Marvel Zombies universe just before the outbreak begins.
What?
But these zombies, they aren't Deadites, so it's not really a retcon, but it's still a fun story.
Oh, hey.
What the hell is all this about?
And spoiler alert, this whole universe of zombies is an Ouroboros, because the way that the zombie outbreak started in this reality is that a zombified superhero named the Sentry from Earth 9/11/26 was sent to Earth 2149. But how did Sentry get turned into a zombie? Giant Man from Earth 2149 makes it to Earth 9/11/26, infects the whole world, and then Zombie Sentry gets sent to another reality by the Watcher of that reality, and he appears in Earth 2149. But how did Sentry get turned into a zombie? Giant Man from Earth 2149 makes it to Earth 9/11/26, infects the whole world, and then Zombie Sentry gets sent to another reality by the Watcher of that reality, and he appears in Earth 2149.
But how did Sentry get turned into a zombie? Giant Man from Earth 2149 makes it to Earth 9/11/26, infects the whole world, and then Zombie Sentry gets sent to another reality by the Watcher of that reality,
Okay, it's a
and he
loop.
appears in Earth 2149.
I get you, all right.
Giant Man from Earth
Okay, I get it! That's enough zombies! That's enough zombies! I understand! It's a loop! Help! What is going on? Is that the whole video? Is it 23 minutes of this over and over again? Okay, it's getting ridiculous.
Right after Magneto destroyed the machine in Ultimate Fantastic Four 22, trapping the zombies in this dimension. He is surrounded by the legions of undead superheroes and villains. Magneto starts ripping them all to shreds, using all the metal that is just laying about, and is chased down by Colonel America and Spider-Man.
Colonel America? Well, you know what? It's good he got some promotions. Congratulations, Captain. He got some promotions before he was horrifically and irrevocably zombified, but still, that's some good character development.
He uses his power to lob off the top of Colonel America's head. Also, Spider-Man fell because he was out of webbing and broke his leg. Magneto limps across the rooftop, carrying the Colonel's shield, where he lumbers down into an alleyway and watches as Angel and Thor patrol the skies. Then he gets a message from his acolytes on Asteroid M. Yeah, Magneto had or has a secret asteroid base. His acolytes tell him that only 12 of them are still alive, but the base is still fully operational. Magneto tells them that he'll find a way to get to them and that they just need to stay put. And as he's about to...
I love how of all people that could be like the hero in this universe, it's Magneto for some reason.
enter a sewer, Hawkeye finds him and shoots Magneto in the abdomen with an arrow.
No!
Take that.
Oh no!
Keep it.
Oh, owned?
Why, Magneto? Why put yourself through all this?
What do you mean?
These glacial being mutants that thou dost not know when thou art defeated.
Why? No one wants to be a zombie, that's why. What do you mean?
Say the same about you.
Get out. Oh my god, slammed. Nice, get him, Magneto. Let's go, baby. This is cool.
I think it is safe to say that you idiots underestimated me. What made you think that I am an easy target?
You get him, that's right.
I am the master of magnetism, and we're surrounded by steel and concrete.
Yeah, that's right.
Live you all.
Slammed.
Did you really think you could defeat me?
They're idiots, Magneto. They're so dumb. No! No! Oh, what is that? Is that a bee?
I thought it was a pretty safe.
What in God's name is that? Is that the fly? The flying girl? What is that?
The zombies begin to swarm and Magneto shouts,
I hope you choke on me!
Oh man, that's such a cool way to go out when you're facing cannibals, though.
Thor grabs him by
wasp?
the cape as Hulk rips off Magneto's leg, and the
Oh,
others tear
that's-
him to pieces.
Guys, that's unfortunate. Oh, jeez, why? Come on. He can't be that good. He's an old man. He's gonna be all gristle and bone. There's not even any flesh to get. Jeez. Oh, the sound effects are really giving it to me, man. They really
Later,
add the
Thor,
emotion.
Bruce Banner, Wolverine, Giant Man, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Angel, and Spider-Man all sit around lounging. Calm down now because they've sated their hunger. For
Cool.
now.
Right, they have big bellies because they're all full of Magneto. There can't be that much flesh on Magneto.
You see, once they eat, they start to regain their personalities, but when they get hungry, oh boy, do they turn into some zombies. Spider-Man asks if anyone can fix his leg, because he suspects he won't be healing anytime soon. And Bruce says that they don't even know how the zombification works. Then he says that the leg meat he ate isn't even digesting, so when he turned back into Banner, his stomach ripped open.
Oh no, his body just doesn't work anymore, so he can't digest anything? Well, then you're just gonna keep eating until your stomach explodes and you fall apart. This zombification virus hasn't got very good evolutionary
My
prospects.
healing factor ain't doing squat. We're dead, but we ain't dying, bub. Simple as that.
I'm going to assume that as long as our brains are intact and functioning, we'll continue. Although we do appear to be decomposing.
Okay, so what, they'll last like a few weeks tops because the body decomposes pretty quickly, to be fair. If you're no longer living, necrosis will set in, and then you'll start to fall apart. That's why when you dig up graves, it's all skeletons.
I'd rethink that brain theory if I were you. I've got evidence to the contrary.
That proves nothing. The human body can continue to function after wounds like that, depending on what part of the brain that is. And did anyone find Hawkeye's head? That might be useful for study.
Would you listen to us?
Dear God, what have we become?
Zombies.
I ate my wife. My hand. Why? Why did I do that?
I ate my wife. I miss my wife, everyone.
I don't want to figure anything out. I just want to die.
Okay, fastest way you could throw yourself into a volcano. There's no way that zombification beats being submerged in lava. No shot.
Well, you can't right now, so stop interrupting while we try to think.
Then Bruce says that one of Magneto's bones is pushing through his body and asks someone to make him angry so he turns into the Hulk. Thor then proceeds to smash his face in as the bone splits out of Bruce's skin. Then Luke Cage sees
God.
something in the sky fly by real quick. The Silver Surfer, who chose a very bad time to show up on Earth. I think this planet would probably give Galactus a tummy ache. He would definitely need some cosmic Tums. Silver Surfer looks down upon them and then disappears. The zombies trying to figure out what
He looks down, the Silver Surfer I'm pretty sure in the lore, he's supposed to find places for Galactus to eat. He just looks down and he's like, no, I'm not dealing with that today. Absolutely not. See you later, guys. I want none of what you're doing right now.
the hell that thing was, and Giant Man and Angel then start turning on each other. Colonel America says that they'll never be able to catch whatever that silver thing on the surfboard was, and then he suggests that they start searching for pockets of civilians. Giant Man says that that's a great idea, and then heads off to find Janet, and then Daredevil worries about what Iron Man will say about Magneto, and Giant Man tells him to give Iron Man the truth, that Magneto broke a gas line and was vaporized. Hank makes his way down the desolate streets of what was once New York City, making sure that no one is around as he shrinks down to normal size. Then he enters a secret laboratory and makes his way to a large metal coffin-like object. He
Oh,
opens it up,
yeah?
we discover this is where he keeps
Yeah?
T'Challa, the
What?
Black Panther,
Oh my
under
God.
a sedative so that Hank can slowly amputate and eat
No.
his body. Hank
Dude,
justifies
come
this by
on.
saying that he needs to eat so he
Oh.
can think clearly so that he can work on
Jesus.
a cure for their zombification. Then
Why?
Janet appears.
That is
she
so
threatens
fucked.
to tell the others, and Hank says that he's the only one with the restraint to keep T'Challa alive and not completely devour him right now. Janet
What?
demands that they share him, and then they start fighting like they do in every universe, until Hank grabs her and bites off her head.
Oh, eating a zombie can't be very tasty. Exactly, yes. Eating a zombie, not very
And he
tasty.
spits it out because that's tainted meat. As Hank consumes T'Challa's foot, T'Challa starts coming to, and wearily asks Hank to kill him. Meanwhile, the Silver Surfer flies across the world and finds nothing but zombies. Back at Zombie HQ, formerly known as Times Square, Colonel America and his team show up to the massive congregation of zombies. Iron Man
Iron
hovers
Man?
down to meet them and tells
Wait, why is he so big?
Steve to cut the crap and asks what the hell happened with Magneto. Daredevil gives Iron Man the lie, and Iron Man's like,
Oh, really? So none of you have eaten anything? Hey, Spider-Man, how's your wife and aunt?
and Spider-Man's like,
Oh, God!
Oh my god, that's so. I mean, I laugh because it's funny, but man, that is fucked. Just to be sitting in your own head, knowing that you consumed your loved ones, not able to even die if you wanted to, is such a horrific fate to have.
Geniuses think you can slip one past me? If none of you ate, then why is Spider-Man so emotional? Why is Banner not the Hulk? He's only Banner after feeding. Not to mention his bulging and ruptured stomach.
Angel apologizes, and Iron Man says that he's just pissed that he didn't get to have any of the food. Then he asks where Hawkeye, Hank, and Jan are. The Colonel gives him the rundown, and then the two discuss what'll happen when they get hungry enough to start trying to eat themselves. Daredevil then suggests using a Quinjet to fool any human survivors into thinking they're getting rescued, and Iron Man asks if Colonel America remembers any secret government bunkers from the time when he was president.
Oh, wait, what? He was president? Wow. Okay. Congrats, Colonel America. I mean, he won the hearts and minds of the people, and now he just wants the hearts. He doesn't really care about the minds, but the brains would be delicious too.
Then Tony looks up and sees the Silver Surfer hovering above them. A blinding white light flashes across the city.
The great Galactus has been summoned.
Uh-oh.
He will arrive very soon. Your world is to be converted to elemental energy to serve as nourishment for my
Spider-Man.
master Galactus. I have surveyed your planet, and while it supports little life, it will be...
The fucking zombie faces, dude. The Silver Surfer comes, he's supposed to interact with like a normal society. It's just zombies.
sufficient for his needs, though it will mean the end of your existence. Your time is short. Prepare for the end.
That's so funny. Oh my god. Galactus is gonna get zombified, and then there's just gonna be zombie Galactus.
The hell is he talking about? I have no idea.
Eat him.
But I get first taste.
Oh my god.
It is pointless to resist. Your fate is inevitable. I beg you, please. You should be honored to give your lives to provide the one devoured with sustenance. Fighting will accomplish nothing.
That's your opinion.
That's just your opinion. I disagree. The Jedi are the evil ones. Wait, did he get a bite in?
In all my travels, I have never encountered such creatures.
Okay, well, they shouldn't be able to bite into the Silver Surfer because he's made of metal, right? Could the Silver Surfer lose to Magneto? Because I know the Silver Surfer is supposed to be, like, insanely powerful. Like, he's, like, Super Saiyan level powerful. So he should be easily able to destroy all these guys. But if they bite him and he gets zombie virus in him, is he gonna go zombie as well?
Lucky for you.
Abominations, I have seen what you have done to your world. You should long for these horrors to end.
Get him. Keep him off balance.
Oh my god, they really destroyed the surfboard. Can he not just fly without the surfboard, though? It seems weird that Galactus would give him all these powers, and he's like, you can fly, but only if you're on this really cool surfboard that I made for you. If you fall off, then you're fucked, I guess.
Whoever makes the kill gets double rations. Stand aside, this one's mine. Crap.
Oh, that didn't work.
Won't be needing this arm anymore. Hey, down here. Quick, toss me up in the air. I got just enough juice to repulsor blast this clown. Sure thing, bub. Jeez, I'm glad I took my time coming back. I think I'll wait until the end of this particular ordeal.
He's finished munching on Black Panther, and he's like, I don't know, this is a little too much for me. I think I'm gonna sit in the back. I'll probably just go, I don't know. Hey, you got any feet left? Black Panther? No? Okay, I guess I'll sit in the corner for a bit.
I can feel the hunger starting to take over again. I may be useful in this fight. It's a pipe dream for me to keep my leg connected. I don't think it's gonna heal. Now, you know what? That's it. I'm getting rid of it right now.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, there.
Hulk is hungry.
Join the club, pal.
Silverman mine. Hulk is strong.
There's no way. There's no way he can. Oh, damn, he's getting owned.
Don't let him get away.
Oh, he's getting away. He's gonna do it.
He belongs to Hulk.
Dude, can Zombie Hulk bite through the Silver Surfer?
Silverman will fry in Hulk's face. Hulk will make sure of that.
Go on, do it. Oh, did he get him? Oh my days.
Hulk
did he just
bites
jump his
off the Silver Surfer's
Damn!
head, and his corpse plummets to the earth below. Spider-Man starts
Jesus
hopping
Christ.
towards the feast when Iron Man's like, hey, help a brother out. And then Giant Man grabs them both and carries them over to the corpse of the Silver Surfer.
There's not enough Silver Surfer to go around, guys. Also, how are you gonna eat him? Like, he might be dead, but you still can't get through the barrier that is his skin. The Hulk can do it, but none of yous lot can. You're just like normal hero guys.
Colonel America, Wolverine, and Luke Cage have already begun eating. He picks it up and hands it over to Spidey and Iron Man like they're two little baby birds or something. Hulk finds that the Surfer's body has already been picked clean by the others, and then Beast starts chastising Colonel America about not sharing the food. So Colonel America
my
points
God.
at him and is about to yell back.
No.
And accidentally vaporizes Beast and Thor.
Dude, they kill him and get his powers? They ate him and gained his strength?
Then the
Eat his heart to gain his courage, guys!
zombies discover that they've all gained small portions of the Silver Surfer's powers. Elsewhere in the city, T'Challa limps down the street with a crutch and Janet's severed head. Janet asks for a little nibble for helping him escape, and T'Challa says,
Please, Janet. This is hard enough as it is. Please, stop talking. Please stop talking.
Shut the
You
fuck
don't
up.
understand what it's like. I need to feed. I can't think straight. I ache to taste your flesh.
You don't even have a stomach anymore, Janet. Like, where's it gonna go? It's gonna fall out your neck immediately.
This is madness. You are a severed head. You don't even have a body. It's all in your mind. There is nowhere for the food to go.
He said it's all in your mind. He said you just don't have the hustle and rustle grind set. You just need to... It's just a mindset, guys. You don't need to eat flesh. If you join my program, you won't need to eat flesh anymore. You'll discover the grind set that will keep you awake at 5 in the morning. With cold showers, you won't need to eat people anymore. You'll just have the grind set to make money. That's right, baby.
T'Challa sits down on some rubble when a voice comes from behind him. The voice of Magneto's acolytes. The leader
They're
asks
here.
where Magnus is, and T'Challa tells him that he has no idea. And
He's
the leader
dead.
is surprised to discover that T'Challa is still a human, which is a good thing because these acolytes really do not look ready to fight zombie superheroes. Meanwhile, across town, the core group of super zombies, being Giant Man, Colonel America, Hulk, Luke Cage, Iron Man, Wolverine, and Spider-Man, finish killing off their zombified comrades. Then Galactus shows up.
Oh, man. Okay. So Galactus is here. He is the world devourer. Surely he just saps the energy from the earth and he just takes off. He's not going to actually eat the zombies, right? Because if he actually eats a zombie, that would be a silly idea. He doesn't go around cannibalizing them. He's not going to do that, right? Surely not. Thank you, Plush. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Giant Man tells him that they ate Silver Surfer, and Galactus gets pissed that they dare say that they hunger more than he, so Galactus starts blasting his power cosmic at him. Luke Cage asks how the hell they're gonna defeat him, and Spidey says that they're screwed now that Reed and the Fantastic Four are trapped in another dimension. Giant Man says that they'll find a way, especially now that they have fancy new cosmic powers. They all
True.
shoot at Galactus with their powers, but it
does nothing.
absolutely nothing, and Luke Cage gets his entire left side vaporized. Iron Man pieces out with Spider-Man, and the others shortly follow suit to regroup. The zombies get situated a few blocks away, and Giant Man says that they need to get to his lab to figure out a way to stop Galactus. They enter the lab, and as Hank opens the container that he kept T'Challa in, he asks them not to do anything rash. But when the lid comes off, nothing is there.
Oh, he's like, oh no, dude, my dinner. Guys, who took my dinner? It's like when you go to work and you have like a work fridge and you put your sandwich in there and you open it at lunchtime and someone took like a bite of your sandwich and you're like, guys, come on, I was looking forward to my tuna sandwich. Why did you guys do that?
And the Colonel asks what Hank was keeping from them, but Hank says that, but Hank's like, I killed Janet. That's my secret. Black Panther speaks to the Acolytes as they get paranoid that he's like some sort of trap. Fire Fist gets in T'Challa's face, so T'Challa throws Janet's head at him, and she devours his neck. Then T'Challa kicks the shit out of the others when Cortez orders them to stop. T'Challa says that he wants to come back to Asteroid M with him, and Cortez is like, yeah, obviously I'm taking you with me. I'm not leaving a human being down here in this hell. And
he just zombified one of your mates.
One of the other Acolytes grabs Janet's head, and T'Challa tells him that she is his friend, and that under supervision she won't be a problem because
that is a zombie head that was just used to bludgeon one of your mates and I imagine zombify him because he's been bitten now.
She's literally just a head. So, sometime later, Luke Cage...
Why would you accept that? What a stupid thing to do. Like, oh yeah, we can keep the zombie head. That sounds like a really good idea. Why don't we keep the zombie head? Maybe we can run experiments on it. I'm sure nothing bad will happen there.
Spider-Man play Go Fish as Tony, Banner, and Pym work on stopping Galactus. Luke Cage asks why Spider-Man is still bothering to wear his mask, and Spidey says, after what he's become, he can't stand to look at himself.
After eating my wife and aunt, the only two people that loved me. Oh god, that's so depressing. Spider-Man is not having a good time right now. Everyone else is like pretty pog being zombies. They're like, yeah, this is great. We'll just like eat people and stuff. That's awesome. Spider-Man is having the most depressive episode he's ever had.
Then Luke calls him a sissy, and Wolverine tells them that Colonel America...
Luke calls him a sissy. Oh, dude, come on, man. All you did was eat your family, you little bitch. You little pussy. You little pussy. You gonna cry because you ate your family? Can zombies even cry? Little pussy zombie. Of course, everyone ate their family, all right? Don't be so sad.
Back. The Colonel rocks up with sheets of vibranium that he stole from Wakanda. And Giant Man says,
this is perfect. Between this and the crystals we took from Strange's sanctuary, the stuff from the Baxter building, and what we stole from Castle Doom, we've got everything we need.
Then Bruce starts aching and whining about how hungry he is, and says that he's starting to turn back into the Hulk, and Iron Man tells him to do it. So Bruce opens his stomach and takes out a piece of meat he previously ate, and Colonel America's like,
oh jeez, when did he start doing that?
No, that's a good idea. It's recycling. I mean, it makes sense. It's not like he actually needs it for nutrition. So if you just like eat it, in fact, I think this is a great idea. Just recycle the same piece of meat over and over again until it becomes so decomposed that you can't anymore. You just recycle it, nom, 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 grab it, nom. You don't chew it, because then it'll decompose quicker, but this is a really good idea.
Giant Man reveals that they've all been re-eating, sans Luke and Spider-Man, and then he activates their device. In space, the Acolytes, T'Challa, and Janet arrive on Asteroid M. Then this scientist named Reynolds introduces himself and says that with the specimen he brought, they might be able to find a cure. Reynolds then takes Janet to be examined as T'Challa is introduced to a woman named Hendrix, and then asks for an easier way to get around than a crutch. That's when Forge of the X-Men appears. Forge has like superpowers and like technopathy or something. He's a genius inventor who can make anything. Meanwhile, down in the center of New York, various zombified villains fight Galactus. Fight, in quotations, as the core...
Yeah, I mean, Galactus is so far and away above every other superhero in the entire universe, it's not even funny. It's not fighting, he's like playing around with them.
A group of zombies set up their fancy zapper machine and shoot Galactus to death. Galactus begins to topple upon...
They actually kill him? Man, they did that. Dude, they did that in like the space of like, what, 12 hours at most?
On the zombies, but they all, some of them run away and escape. And then Dr. Doom...
I like how Venom just looks normal. This is just normal Venom. Venom's like, finally, people who understand me. This is great. Everyone's a zombie. They're all like me. They understand me. My people.
Leads the charge to feed on his giant body when Giant Man orders him to halt. Then the zombies fight the cosmic zombies.
You never could hope to beat me in a physical fight. What makes you even try? Has the hunger consumed you that much? Is your judgment that clouded?
Yes, it is.
You need me to spit it out for you. You've never had such an obvious weakness before.
Oh. Oh no. He scooped out his brain.
Turn off. We did it. That's the last of them.
Threaten the world devourer. You will come to regret your actions. No mortal insects can threaten Galactus.
This is so good, man. I would love more stuff like this. This is great. The sound effects, the voice acting with the actual comic panels. Like, this is fantastic. That's great.
Holy crap, he's still alive.
Oh, no.
Not for long. That's our dinner. It's taken us a long time to get here, but here it is, right in front of us. More meat than we can handle. All we have to do is take it.
Go on, take it. Jesus Christ. Okay, I will say the eating sound effects are kind of like getting in my ears a little bit. I might have to. Yeah, they're gobbling. They're definitely gobbling down. They're really going to town on it. They're a little too visceral. There we go.
5 years later.
They ate Galactus. They're just gonna conquer the universe and eat everything now, right? Like we're done. If they have the powers of Galactus in them, it's over.
Nature has reclaimed the world. The asteroid M survivors arrive on Earth. T'Challa suggests that Reynolds' theory may have been correct, but Cortez says that lack of food won't kill him. T'Challa then stands next to his wife, Lisa Hendricks, and their baby, Kashamba. Lisa says that they're all alone down here, and then Janet Van Dyne appears in a fancy robot body and tells them that the entire...
Why would you give the zombie a robot body? I mean, I know her head's like in a gorble, but she's still got the hunger, right? Unless they cured the hunger, which they could do, which means if they cured the hunger from Janet, they could cure the hunger from the other zombies, and we can go back to like a semi-normal reality.
Planet has been deserted. Forge asks how the hell that could have happened, and wonders where the zombies went. Reynolds says that they either died off, went into hibernation, or left. Cortez wonders how they could even have done that, and T'Challa asks...
Because they have the power, the cosmic power now.
Question you could think of in this situation. Where did they go? Cut to another world in a far-off galaxy.
Uh-oh.
An alien royalty tucks their child to sleep.
Oh, it looks like the alien from Alien.
When their advisor appears and tells them that the sensor readings have come through.
Uh-oh.
The Galactus is coming.
No,
the
not
ruler
even.
says that all is lost and asks how much time they have left. And the advisor says, none. From high above, silhouetted against the binary suns, 6 figures appear, rocketing towards the planet. The Galactus has arrived to feed upon the planet. Which
That's
begs
so
the
messed
question,
up.
where did they get those matching suits? Did they make them? Did they suddenly just form on their bodies when there was just no other Galactus?
It has to have been a part of the powers, right? In order to have these powers, the drawback is you have to look goofy as fuck in a weird suit.
How did they get these suits? It's not like Aunt May could have sewn them for them. I wonder what happened to fucking Professor X in this universe. Good lord. He did not make it far. The end?
Oh my days,
Hope you guys enjoyed this very special Halloween episode.
I did. That was really funny. In fact, that video was so good, man. Like, that was awesome. The sound effects, the vocal thing. Oh my god, there's a Marvel Zombies 2. There's no way, dude. There's no way there's a Marvel. Okay, well, maybe we'll come back to that in the future. But that was, I'm going to be honest, hilarious. I thought it was really goofy and funny, and it was fantastic. So, really good video. Love that. Do you want me to react to a video? Just let me know on my Discord server. Oh, that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of goofs. That was a happy fun times. They did the original series. Yeah, I mean, they have the next one. That's like a 30-minute react. Potentially in the future. We'll see. But that was, I like that. I had a good time. Let's check in on Shady, shall we? Little Shady check-in time. A little checking in time. Hold on. What's he doing? What's he up to? What's he doing? What are you doing right now?
Maybe I'll do that. I gotta let me play in the lobby for a little bit. I don't even have a main anymore because Link is so slow. Link is so slow now. Clad Cactus, thank you for the prime. I might just go to Kid Link. If we hit 600k,
is he playing Smash?
2 hours. No. Why are we trying to? What are we doing? Alex, thank you for the prime. Dude, I'm giving you all these different ways.
He has 16 hours on his timer. Look at this. 16 hours on the timer. That's crazy.
Can we?
He's gonna be here for so long, dude.
QSN, appreciate that. Super kind of you. All right.
So if you don't know, my friend Shady is doing a subathon right now. He has 16 hours on his timer, and the timer goes up every time someone gives him a membership or he gets more memberships, and that's how it works. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna rate him up. We're gonna redirect the stream over there. So I hope you enjoy Shady's stream. Go over there, be polite, be kind, and enjoy his stream. Thank you so much all for hanging out in this one, and I will see you guys